Hello everyone, welcome back to MixbusTv. Hope you're having a great day. Another rapid fire question and answer with you guys because, like I said before, we're building a new room. It's going to be ready soon. In the meantime, we're going to do this short videos. I hope you will like it. Let me know in the comment down below and post your questions. This question is, why is that studios needs 4 distressor compressor? Every video I see of a studio, they have 4. If you're mastering with it, wouldn't it be 1 for left channel and 1 for right? So you need 2. I'm guilty of that. Of course, I have 6 distressors. So he probably saw, it's a comment on one of my videos. So he saw my 4 distressor at that time. This is something that people at home that don't work with hybrid setups like I do have a hard time understanding. So let's get to the second part of the question first. You usually don't master with distressors. They are channel compressors, they're group compressors, drum, bass, vocals, stems for, again, drums or guitars. They're great for everything, not really for mastering or 2-bus processing, although few people use it. So I know what you're saying here. If you would use it only on the mix, you would only need 2, which is true. If you only were to use them on a mix, you only need left and right. You only need a stereo pair or a stereo unit if existed. But why you see 4 or 6 like me? When you mix in hybrid, the routing of your channels is not probably something that home studio guys really have in mind. I have a video, 2 videos actually, on hybrid mixing. So if you type in the channel search bar hybrid mixing, you will find them both, where I describe everything: my signal path, signal flow, why the patch base, how I'm patched, and how I use the hardware gear. The reason, because we need so many units, it's when you mix hybrid, let's say you have your kick, your snare, your synths, your vocals, your bass, whatever, and then your 2-bus. Your processing, when you mix hybrid, is, for example, distressors. I use them on snare, vocals, and bass, okay, and mono drums. That's my 4 main distressor. That's usually where they end up. So what is happening is, if this is your Pro Tools page, you have 1 hardware insert on the snare, 1 hardware insert on the bass, 1 on vocals, and 1 on mono drums. So you open a hardware insert in Pro Tools exactly like you would do with a plugin. The signal of that vocals or bass or mono drums goes out from the converters, goes into the distressor, and goes back into the channel, exactly how it does with the plugin. So you see that until the mix is done, I want to be able to tweak that compressor and adjust it while I'm mixing everything else. So when I press play and I have 4 distressors, all 4 signals go to the 4 distressors. And not just that, I usually have an EQ on it or another 5 compressors. All my drummers are on all the time. I can have like my Pultec left and right, kick and bass. Again, what else? I'm looking at gear. Effects, anything. So that's why, for example, I need 48 channel of ADDA, of conversion, because every channel I need an input and output, analog input and output, to send things to my hardware and then come back. When you're done with that, you send everything, okay, like you would do if you didn't have the hardware, to your 2-bus. And on your 2-bus, the whole mix goes out again into your 2-bus chain, which for me is, you know, my Neves and Wes Audio compressor and EQ, the drummer 1976 4, I forget which one, the saturator, the new parametric EQ, which is amazing. So the whole mix goes there and then I print it. You see? So you don't, when you do this professionally, you can't print tracks. And even if you, let's say, because you waste time. And when you do this professionally, time is money. If I have to spend like 10 minutes to tweak, you know, maybe my bass, to free 1 distressor and then use it on vocals and then print that. And then what if I need to change something during the mix? I have to go back, recall the first setting and then tweak and then reprint again. It doesn't work. It doesn't work because if I had to mix like 200, 250 songs a year, I can't wait. I would not be able to do it if I waste so much time just for that. To the point that I actually, at some point, bought 2 more distressors because I had to mix so much and the deadlines were so close that sometimes I needed more distressors for another song. So I was mixing song A and it wasn't finished, and I was waiting maybe for the artist to give me feedback to approve the mix. I started the next mix, and for that I needed 2 more distressors. And I don't want to go back and change the settings. That's an analog mix. It's a hybrid analog mix. If you touch something, unless everything you have has switches and a perfect recall, it's never going to be the same. So, and even if you have switches, it takes time to recall. Again, one reason why I like Wes audio gear, because it's got digital control, but I digress. So I bought 2 more distressor because I was like, okay, so if I have to waste 2 hours a day recalling one song switching from one song to the other, at the end of the year, I'm mixing probably 40 songs less or 30 songs less than I would. And that's X amount of money. So you know what? I'm just going to buy 2 more distressor because I'm going to pay those with the next 2 mixes. Make sense? So sometimes you buy more just because you don't even want to recall. Those distressors, my main 4 distressors, 3 of them, I don't even touch them. They have their settings. They have that settings that I like. And I tweak the other one depending on what track. And yeah, if things get like hot, I'll just buy another one, because this is what I do for a living. But you at home have no reason to do this. Okay? So what else? Yeah, so keep in mind when we mix hybrid, everything goes out at the same time. So of course you have to have multiple units because they all play at the same time. They all have their own channel. They all have their own processing, exactly like you would do with a plugin. That's why analog mixing is so expensive. But also there's the other side of the coin. People like me that started and is used to mix with analog gear, you are faster with analog gear. If you're faster, you can mix more, you can make more money. Make sense? So yeah, that's the answer. I hope you answered the question. But I know it's a funny question because I know that people at home, like especially young guys, see like stacks and stacks of the same thing, like 15, 11, 76s, and they ask why. That's why. Okay, so I hope this answered the question. If you like the video, leave a comment down below, leave your question, check the info box down below for plugin discounts. We have a lot of good deals there and my mixing courses. Thank you for watching. See you next time.